Good morning, everyone. Yes, how are you? Yes, I am fine, and I hope all of you are fine. So, in the previous class, I have taught you about the understanding the earth, that is the earth. Yes. So, in that class, I taught you about the latitudes and the longitudes. Yes, and latitudes and longitudes are imaginary lines that are drawn on the earth surface. Yes, and latitudes run parallel to the equator and to each other. That's why they are called parallels of latitude. And their size keeps getting smaller as they move away from the equator. Yes, and as we know, all latitudes are given numbers that are the equator at 0 degree is the longest and most important latitude, and it divides the earth into two halves, that is the northern hemisphere and second one is yes, yes, very good, yes, southern hemisphere. Yes, so so tell me, how many latitudes are there? Yes, very good. There are 181 latitudes. Yes. So in the northern hemisphere there are 90. Yes, and in the southern hemisphere there are 90 latitudes. Yes, and with the middle there is a equator. Okay. And the north pole, that is 90 degree. It is in north side of the earth surface, and south pole, it is in a south side, that is in the 90 degree. Yes, and the latitudes circle the globe in the east to west direction. So let us see about longitudes. Yes, so longitude run from the north to the yes south and meet at the poles, and that's why these are known as meridians of longitude. Yes, and the prime meridian is through the observatory at Greenwich. Yes, where it is? Yes, yes, very good. That is near London, and that is designated as the 0 degree longitude. And also, it divides Earth into two parts. That is, yes, very good. That is eastern hemisphere, and one more is western hemisphere. So there are 180 meridians longitude in the eastern hemisphere and the 180 meridians of longitude in the western hemisphere. Yes, as we know, earth is round, and the 180 degree west and the 180 degree east longitude is one and the same. Yes, and next, longitudes help in calculating the time of a place. So one more important thing is that international date line. Yes, so it is exactly halfway around the world from the prime meridian on the other side of the globe. Yes, so as the name suggests, the international date line marks the change of day, and the latitudes and longitudes cross each other to form a network of lines that we called, yes, what we call that? Yes, very good, that is grid. Yes, and every place on earth has a position which can be described by two coordinates, latitudes and longitude. So this is all about first one lesson. Okay, so we are very familiar with the earth. Yes, and as we know, earth, yes, we are living on the earth, and it is the third planet from the sun. Yes, and the earth is the home for all forms of life like plants, animals, and human beings because of its suitable distance from the sun and range of temperature and life supporting gases. and atmosphere and water cycle and etc. Yes. So let us see what is the size of the earth. Yes. So the earth is the fifth largest planet in the sun's family. Yes. So the diameter of the earth is approximately 4 times greater than the moon, and it is around 107 times less than that of the sun. Yes, and the total geographical area of the earth is 510 million square kilometers, which 361 millions, that is square kilometer, that is 70.78 percentage. Yes, 70.8 percentage that include by the water, and the remaining 29.2 percentage that is covered by land. Yes, thus the earth has unequal distribution of land and water. Yes, and the ratio between the land and the water bodies is 1 is to 2.43. Yes, so our earth has a shape that we called geoid. Yes, what we call that we call geoid. Yes, so let us see the second one chapter, that is massive pieces of land. Yes, so the land bodies of the earth are known as continents. Yes, the land body of the earth are known as continents, and there are seven continents. Yes, there are seven continents. They are the Asia, yes, Africa, yes, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Yes, these are the seven continents. Yes, and the continents are land masses of large size, and Asia is the largest continent in the world, while Australia is the smallest continent. Yes, which is the biggest continent in the world. That is, Asia is the biggest continent in the world, and Australia is the smallest continent. Yes, and the large bodies on the earth are called oceans. Yes, the land masses, what you call that? Yes, the land masses or the land bodies of the earth that are known as continents, and the large water bodies on the earth that are called as oceans. Yes, there are also five oceans. Yes, so they are the Arctic Ocean, yes, Antarctica Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Pacific Ocean, yes, Atlantic Oceans. Yes. So the Pacific is the largest and deepest ocean, while the Arctic is the smallest and shallowest ocean. So let us see some interesting information about the land masses, that is the continents. Yes. So once again, we will see about the Earth. Yes. Our Earth has an interesting history. Yes, and millions of years back, when Earth formed, Earth looked like this. Yes. So there was just one huge landmass with the water all around it, like a very, very huge island. Yes. As time passed, the landmass broke into pieces. Yes, due to natural process about which you will study later. Yes. Yes. And thereafter it became into the parts. Yes, like this. So here you can observe, as now there are seven continents and the five oceans are there. So let us see continents. Yes. So what is continent? Yes. So one of the seven huge land masses on the earth's surface, surrounded by seas and the oceans, in most cases and usually consisting of many countries. Yes, that we known as continents, or that we called as continent. So let us see first one, Asia continent. So yellow color shaded area, that is Asia. Okay. So Asia is the largest continent in the world, as you know, I have told already. So it covers one third of the earth land surface. Yes, it covers one third of the earth land surface. And two of the world's most populated countries, they are the China and India. It belong to Asia. Yes, yes, here you can see this is Asia continent's map, and here the China, yes, and the India, yes, these are the most populated countries that belong to the Asia. Yes, and it is bound by the Arctic Ocean in the north. Yes, yes, Asia is bound by oceans. Yes, here you can observe in the north side of the Asia. Yes, Asia is mentioned here green color in the east side of your screen. Yes, that is right side of your screen. So Asia is bounded by the ocean, that is in the north side, that is there is Arctic Ocean. Yes, and the Pacific Ocean in the east side. Yes, and in the south side there is a Indian Ocean. Yes, and let us see next one important, that is the highest point of the earth. Yes, highest point of the earth, that is Mount Everest. Yes, the Mount Everest, that is in Nepal. Yes, Mount Everest, that is in Nepal. You can observe the picture or the map of our India. Yes, the Mount Everest, it is in the Nepal. Yes, and the height of that Mount Everest is 8848 meter. Yes, that is in Nepal. Next one is the deepest point on the earth land surface, that is the Dead Sea. Yes, the Dead Sea, it is a very deepest point of the earth land surface and is landlocked saltwater lake. Yes, and is bordered by Jordan in the east. Yes, in the east side you can see the Jordan. Yes, and Israel and Palestine in west. Yes, in the east side there is the Jordan, and next in the west side there is a Israel. So it bounded by Israel and Jordan. So next one is, so in Asia continents there are 48 countries. Yes, of varying sizes and climate conditions, from freezing high mountains to sizzling hot deserts. Yes, so Asia, with its amazing physical and cultural diversity, has a very rich history. Yes, and we can see so many civilization in the Asia continent, like Sumerian civilization, that is now in southern Iraq, and also Mohenjo-daro, Indus Valley civilization. Yes, these are also found in the Asian continent. And also Asia holds the record for a few major discoveries and invention. That is first magnetic compass that was invented by the Asian people. Yes. And next, earliest script writing is, and woven silk textiles from a tomb and 2nd century BCE, that is in China. Yes, that is the silk textiles that are invented in the 2nd century in the China. So this is all about continent about the Asia. So there are seven continents as I told. Yes. So among them we have discussed about or we have learned about the Asia. So there is a video that is about the Asia. So you can watch and get more information about the Asia continent. So watch that video and thank you for watching video, and I hope all of you understood this. Thank you.
In this video, we shall learn about the physical features of Asia. Well, to begin with, Asia is bordered by oceans on three sides. To its north lies the Arctic Ocean, and to the south is the Indian Ocean, and to its eastern coast is bounded by the Pacific Ocean. In the west, Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains, Caspian Sea, Caucasus Mountains, and Black Sea. In the southwest, it is linked with Africa through the Sinai Peninsula. The narrow Bering Strait separates Asia from North America in the extreme northeast. The countries of Asia can be divided into different groups based on their locations. Well, the major groups are East Asian countries, North Asian countries, Central Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, South Asian countries, and the countries of West Asia. In East Asia, we have countries like China, North and South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and Mongolia. In North Asia, we have Russia. In Central Asia, the countries are Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Afghanistan. The Southeast Asian countries are Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar. The southern part consists of the island countries of Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, East Timor, and Philippines. The South Asian countries include India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Maldives, and Bangladesh. The West Asian countries consist of Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Iran, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Lebanon, Cyprus, Syria, Turkey, Georgia, Jordan, Israel. Central Mountains. To the south of the northern lowlands lies an extensive young-fold mountain system called the Central Mountains. Almost all the mountain ranges of Asia radiate from one nodal point in the center, and this is called the Pamir Knot, from which chains of mountain ranges run in all directions. There are two ranges that lie to the west of the Pamir Knot. They are the Hindu Kush and the Suleiman. The Hindu Kush range extends westward and continues along the Caspian Sea as the Elburz Mountains. Suleiman range runs first as the Kirthar range and then the Zagros Mountains. The Elburz and Zagros converge at the Armenia Knot. From here they diverge westward as the Pontic Mountains and the Taurus Mountains. There are two intermontane plateaus in this region. One is the plateau of Iran that lies between the Elburz and the Zagros, and the plateau of Anatolia is enclosed between the Pontic and the Taurus Mountains. To the east of the Pamir Knot lie five mountain ranges. They are the Himalayas, Karakoram, Kunlun, Altian Tag, Teen Shah. The Himalayas run southeastward into the North India and Nepal. They are the highest mountain ranges in the world. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the world's highest peak, is in this range. Further east, the Himalayas bend southward and continue as the Arkan Yoma in Myanmar. The Karakoram range lies to the north of Himalayas, also known as the Godwin Austen, the second highest peak in the world. The Kunlun Mountains run eastward from Pamir Knot and extend into China. The Altian Tag runs in the northeast direction and continues into China. The Teen Shah is the northernmost range branching out from the Pamir Knot and extends northeastward into China. The other important ranges include Altai, Khingan, Yablonovy, Stanovoy, Suyan Mountains, Verkhoyansk Mountain, Kolyama Mountains, and Ural Mountains. Then comes the Tibetan Plateau. It is surrounded by the massive mountain ranges of Asia. The plateau is bordered to the south by the inner Himalayan range, to the north by the Kunlun Mountains, which separates it from the Tarim Basin, and to the northeast by the Quilian Mountains. To the east and the southeast of the plateau lies the mountainous headwaters of the Salween, Mekong, and Yangtze rivers in northwest Yunnan and western Sichuan. Next is the Mongolian Plateau. The Mongolian Plateau has an area of approximately 32 lakh square kilometers. It is bounded by the greater Hingan Mountains in the east, the Yin Mountains to the south, the Altai Mountains to the west, and the Sayan and Khentai Mountains to the north. The plateau includes the Gobi Desert as well as the dry steppe regions. It has an elevation of roughly 1000 to 1500 meters, with the lowest point in Hulenboyer and the highest point in Altai. Next, the Central Siberian Plateau. It is made up of sharply jagged, demarcated surfaces of varying altitudes occupying most of Siberia between the Yenisei and Lena rivers. It extends over an area of 3.5 million square kilometers. To the north of the plateau are the Putoron Mountains, the highest point, while to the south are the Eastern Sayan and the Baikal Mountains. To the east, the plateau gives way to the low-lying land of the Yakuts. The Central Siberian Plateau covers 1/3 of Siberia. Next, the Yunnan Plateau or Yungai Plateau. It is the highland region located in southwest China. The region is primarily spread over the province of Yunnan and Guizhou. In the southwest, the Yonggi is a true plateau with relatively flatter highland areas, while in the northwest, Yonggi is a generally mountainous area of rolling hills, gorges, and karst topography. Next comes the Plateau of Arabia. It rises steeply along the Red Sea coast and slopes eastward towards the Persian Gulf in a dry desert region. Next, the Anatolian Plateau. It is the central upland region of the ancient region of Anatolia, which is today's Turkey. The plateau is hemmed in by two parallel mountain ranges One is the Taurus to the south, and the Mediterranean coast and the Pontic Mountains to the north along the coast of the Black Sea. Now, let us learn about the plains. First one, the West Siberian Plain. It is a large plain that occupies the western portion of Siberia between the Ural Mountains to the west and the Yenisei River in the east, and by the Altai Mountains on the southwest. Much of the plain is poorly drained and consists of some of the world's largest swamps and floodplains. Next one is Northeast China Plain, also known as the Manchurian Plain. It is located in the northeast China. It lies between the Greater and Lesser Khingan and Changbai Mountains, covering 350,000 square kilometers. It is China's largest plain with an elevation of lower than 200 meters. Then it is the North China Plain. It is formed by the deposits of the Yellow River and Yangtze. It is the largest alluvial plain of China. The plain is bordered to the north by the Yanshan Mountains, to the west by the Taihang Mountains, to the south by the Dabi and Tianmu Mountains, and to the east by the Yellow Sea. The Yellow River flows through the middle of the plain into the Bohai Sea. Next is the Mesopotamian Plain. It lies in Iraq. It is a land between two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. Next is the island chains. Well, a series of island chains lie to the east and the southeast of the mainland Asia. These groups of islands extends in an arc forming archipelagos. From the tip of the Kamchatka Peninsula in the Pacific Ocean onwards, these are the Kuril Islands, the Japanese islands that includes Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, Kyushu, then it is the Ryukyu, the Philippines and the Indonesian islands, the Andaman and Nicobar islands, and Lakshadweep. Then we have some important deserts. They are, first one, the Gobi Desert. It is the largest desert of Asia. Then we have the Taklamakan Desert, the largest desert of China. Thar Desert, which is shared by both India and Pakistan. And the Syrian Desert.